So we are going to do my BJD Addicts Prompt number 20. 20.
Okay.
Guys and dolls. And since I don't have any guy friends who have dolls, I'm forcing Casey to do it. Yay! Because he owns half of all of my dolls. So yay!
Because I'm the only one that cares.
That's right. So, what are your thoughts on my BJD Huddy?
Well, all in all, I'm pretty cool with it. I think it's a cool hobby. For the most, I'm actually pretty impressed with the doll's builds, articulation. Yeah, how much work does go into them? It's pretty cool, right down to the lines in the hands, the feet,
Beautiful.
the face, everything else like that. I guess the thing that always tripped me out was just the initial introduction to the culture, I guess, that's around it.
Go ahead, tell us more about how I first introduced you to our dolls. I wouldn't really call it an introduction. I was going to the local anime convention and they had a doll panel and I made Casey go with me. So, what did you think of the doll panel?
Doll panel was a little trippy. The lady up there was basically raise your hand if you've never been here. So she points me out, and she's like, "Oh, we have a virgin amongst us." Yeah, that's a great start to the relationship there. And then she kind of like refers to the dolls as children.
That's because they can be.
I understand that.
Sony's our daughter. Are you saying you don't love our Sony?
No, I'm saying that I'm perfectly cool with that, but she threw her kids out of bed so the dog could sleep in there and not her husband.
Okay.
The husband was evicted from his bed so that the doll could sleep in his place. And let's not forget the possessive nature of apparently how people refer to these things or the doll's stuff. Like, my doll is letting your doll play with her things.
There's nothing wrong with that. All my dolls have their own chairs.
That's fine.
They don't mix chairs. They don't mix clothes.
Sure they don't.
They don't.
Okay.
Sony does not wear Luann's pants.
Alright.
You know, same size, but they're his pants.
Okay. It just seemed, like I said, I was introduced into the culture a little bit late, so playing catch up.
Okay. What are more interesting questions to ask you? I don't know. I didn't really have a list. I was just like going as I went with this. So those are just your thoughts on it? You like it? You don't mind that that's all I talk about? Because I have no life. It's all I talk about to you is my dolls.
No, actually, I don't mind. I'm glad that you take an interest in them and that it makes you real happy.
Even though I take them places with us?
You can take them places with us. I'm not embarrassed by that.
Yeah, that's good.
I mean, if I were, then I'd stand like several feet away from
you. Like Thomas does?
Yeah, like Thomas does.
My friend Thomas
like my traitor friend, Thomas.
He always has to be at least 5 feet away.
Yep. She asked me to hold one of her dolls while she goes to do something.
I don't want to take them in the bathroom, so I have to make them hold them. And then Thomas is like all the way over there when I come back.
Standing 8 feet away. Good friend.
So, what were your first thoughts when you first saw either my BJD, my lovely Sony, or the ones that you saw at the panel? I know we didn't get all up close and personal with them.
Yeah, well, really I didn't want to get too close to the dolls.
Because you might have been shanked.
Well, you have to understand that though that's my first panel experience with the dolls and learning about the overall culture and dressing them up and everything else like that, outside of the doors, one girl threatened to shank another girl for calling her BJD a Barbie.
It's because they're not Barbies.
I understand that.
Different.
I understand that. But she wasn't just going to stab her, she said shank. So.
True.
What was the question again?
What were your first thoughts when you saw either my doll or somebody else's, like at the panel?
At the panel, it was difficult to stay. I wasn't really able to get up close to look at them. Like I said, a general fear. But the fact that most of them were changed out, I think, with horns or hooves.
Cuteness.
Yeah, that really wasn't working for me too much. But when she got Sony the very first time, she was a very gorgeous doll. Well made, well articulated. Um, the craftsmanship, I really couldn't believe. I was honestly floored and astounded by it.
What did you expect me to have? You know my hobby standards. What do you expect me to get?
Hey, I have no idea. I only ever saw the pictures.
Okay.
So,
What do you think of guys who own dolls?
the most, I don't know any. So,
No, I know you don't, but you know that people do. I mean, you accept it with me because I'm a girl. And I make things.
you know what? So long as it works for them, sure. I'm pretty well willing to accept that guys have this hobby as well.
Okay.
I mean, sure, why not? There's plenty of people that dress things up. Why not guys?
True. I had another question, but I forgot it. What was it?
Unless all that guy owns are like 10-year-old dolls.
Okay, that's a little creepy.
Yes, it is. Which is my point.
Person in the store. Go be a store person and help that customer, and we will pause until you come back. I did plug it in. Okay. Do you think this is a weird hobby, considering I spend a lot of money on it? A lot of money.
Truthfully, no. It's not a weird hobby, I would say. I mean, it's definitely it definitely takes some skill to do. I'll give it that. I can't sew and I can't work with things. So
A lot of people buy their stuff. I'm just cheap. That's why I make all mine.
well, still, I don't even have the overall, I guess, fashion eye for that. So I don't, I don't see anything wrong with the hobby, the expense in it, or anything like that. I mean, yeah, the doll is definitely expensive. There's no doubt. There's no doubt on that one.
That's what I buy from Lutz.
Well, it's the ones that make you happy. So.
It is. It is.
No. I mean, as long as we pay everything else, then not a big deal.
That's a cheap shot. I know you. Shut up. I know where you're going with that shot. What else?
I'm going after the girl that abandoned her rent to pay for her doll.
Hey, she's nice. I like
She would
her.
rather be homeless than no
She's in my BJD group. I like her. She's nice.
I'm sure she is. I'm sure most of the people are.